Hello, fellow fantasy fund managers. I'm Stuart Lohman from BizNews, and welcome to our tour of the Fantasy Fund Manager app. For those who haven't registered, you can get the app at www.fantasyfundmanager.co.za. You just register there, and then you get a nice, simple one-click login. This is the home page. You get a little snapshot of your performance. You get your weekly return, your weekly rank, and your monthly rank. We've just finished the second month of competition, which was thankfully a lot better and bluer, as they say. The first month, which we'll see in the My History tab a bit later, shows that the very, very red first month. If you'd like to share the game, there's a nice little one-click option here. You can share it across social platforms, and you can also create mini leagues with this option here if you'd like to compete family, office, whatever takes your fancy. As I'm not new to the game, the 6 shares that I've selected are also reflected at the bottom here. But if you are new to the game and you'd like to select shares, or if you'd like to change the shares you currently hold, the share selector button here under home, you click on there. That brings you to this page. So the game is focused on 6 sectors. If you do this drop down here, you can see there are 6 sectors. It's the financial services, resources, mid and small, rand hedge, retail, and tech and comms. There are 10 options in each of these sectors. We'll just go on the financial services sectors here. As you can see, my choice is Capitec, and the other 9 stocks are on the scroll map below here. So if you need to select, or if you'd like to change your specific holding, you can click on this specific share here. So I'm clicking on First Rand, and you can see how it's performed on Friday and over the past week here. There's also a bit of information. And if you'd like more data, if you click on company info here, you'll go through to the ShareNet pages. What's also interesting here, it gives you how many people have actually selected the share over the total game. And if you're happy, if this is your share, you click on select share, and there you see it updates there. I'm not wanting to change my holdings just yet, so let me just get Capitec back in here. So you need to do that across the 6 sectors to take part in the game. You need to try and find the winner in each, which is no easy feat. But just make sure you do have one stock selection from each sector to take part in those weekly and monthly and the overall prize. The next option under share selector is my portfolio. We click on there. So this just gives you a nice snapshot of how your company selections performed. This is the weekly return. Thankfully, Tungela pulled me up this week. It hasn't done so in the others, but a much better performance. I see the weekly return was 4.42%. Just a good snapshot of how it's sort of performed. And again, you get your performance chart here, or the barometer, as they say, with the weekly return, weekly rank, and monthly rank. The next option is My History. So on the My History tab, it's broken down by week, by month. So as I mentioned, we have finished the second month of competition in June. And here's how the stock selections performed each week. As I said, it was a buy and hold month, month 2. Let's look at the May performance, which was, as we can see, red, 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 red. And also a pretty buy and hold with 1 or 2 swaps, which didn't really help the performance. But I suppose that's why the investment managers get paid the big bucks. But yeah, so that is the My History. As we see, the monthly return minus 9.45%. June, thankfully, a bit better. As I mentioned, you could create a little mini league. On the leaderboards, it shows you how you're performing in those leagues. These are the leagues that I'm a member of, the BizNews Premium Group, the Current Weekly Leaderboard, which is the total group, the monthly leaderboard, and the overall leaderboard. If you click on these, if you say, for instance, I'll click on the overall leaderboard, it'll give you those players who are actually out in front. See, overall, Andre Klopper is having a blinder 14.49%. It's good performance. The next option is share performance. So we click on there. You can actually break it down into categories if you want to just look at specific categories, and you can go by current week, overall, or monthly. And this just gives you a breakdown of how all the shares have performed. The 60 options, this just gives a nice little rundown of their return. So this is the current week. We swap that out to monthly, or you can actually go overall. So let's go overall. And there you see City Lodge out front and Impala at the back. So yeah, that's just if you need a bit of history on how individual stocks have performed, it's a nice snapshot. The next option is the news feed. So this is just some of the news that flows through. We do a weekly newsletter that is available here. And this is the coroner report, it comes out monthly. If you go to the news feed itself, so I'm just going to wait for it to load. And this is the Fantasy Fund Twitter stream. If you follow us at fantasy_fund, you'll be able to see all the tweets. We do try to retweet a lot of information that could be beneficial. A lot of the market watches, some of the insights, etc. We are publishing certain content on BizNews, which should also give you a viewpoint. But yeah, it's just a nice little news feed. The newsletter as well, which as you have signed up to Fantasy Fund, you should be receiving every Saturday morning, but they also make it available here as well. And a big driver of the game is education. And the next tab is edutainment. So these are just short videos that the Korean team has come up with to break down certain information. It's the decoding series. And it looks at things like, as we see here, interest rates, inflation, and the stock market, GDP, etc. We also publish these in the newsletter weekly. So let's just have a look. You just click on here. There we go. So yeah, it's just a big driver is education. I was in one of the podcasts, we do a weekly podcast. We were talking about how it's opened up dinner conversations around dinner tables, etc. And it's fantastic to see the interest that is coming from the game and the people playing. The next drop down is the prizes. So these are the weekly, monthly, and overall prizes. The eligibility, and obviously our sponsors at the bottom here, which make the game possible: ShareNet, Terebinth Capital, Money Better, Clucas Gray Assets Management, and Corin Capital and BizNews. So there's a weekly 1,000 Rand prize for whoever wins that leaderboard. There's a 5,000 Rand for the monthly. And then there's the breakdown of the first, second, and third prizes for the overall. How to play. We've mentioned you need to select one share from each of the sectors. There are 6 sectors and 10 options in those shares. But this just gives you a breakdown in nice simple terms if you are new to the game. All the categories, how to select, which is what we're going through now, the leaderboards, etc., etc. CPD points are also on offer with the game. This is a breakdown. As you see, it's continuous professional development. It's for those in the financial services space. For every 90 minutes spent on the game, they can earn a maximum of 1.5 points a month, and it equates to possible 9 CPD points for the whole competition. This just lets those who have interest there know what to do. And the next option is My Profile. Oh, there you go. You've got my phone number now if you need it. Hopefully not my ID number. but yeah, there you can go. And if you need to update anything, you just save it there. And I wish you all the best in your investment journey with us at Fantasy Fund Manager. Until next time, cheerio.